Hi Munster Machine fans and history buffs! This time we're taking a journey through time as we explore the oldest heavy machines that have shaped our world and continue to leave their mark to this day. We're starting off pretty modern right here, but trust me, we are getting seriously ancient. As we progress through this video, we've got a heavy machine coming up that was around before the electric light bulb. To start, picture this. It's 1970 and Allis Chalmers unveils a beast of a machine that would make even the mightiest earth movers quake in their tracks. Enter the HD41 Bulldozer, a true titan of its time. This American-made colossus stretched an impressive 26 feet long, 12 feet wide, and stood 13 feet tall. But size wasn't its only claim to fame. With a whopping 524 horsepower under its hood, the HD41 was ready to move mountains, or at least a good chunk of them. Now, brace yourself for the price tag. In 1970, this mechanical marvel would set you back anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000. That's over $1 million in today's money. But for that princely sum, you got some cutting-edge tech, including hydraulic blade control and a power shift transmission. Here's a fun fact, the HD41 featured a unique high-drive track system that gave it superior traction, making it a favorite in challenging terrains. And get this, some of these beasts are still out there, pushing dirt and defying time, over 50 years later. Now, let's roll back the clock even further to 1935. Caterpillar introduces the D6 Tractor, a machine that would become a legend in its own right. This versatile workhorse has been a staple in construction, agriculture, and forestry for over 86 years, and it's still in production today. The D6 might be smaller than our previous contender, measuring about 15 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 9 feet tall, but don't let its size fool you. Early models packed a punch with 75 to 150 horsepower, depending on the year. During the 1950s, you could get your hands on one of these bad boys for $75,000 to $100,000. That's a steal, considering its versatility and longevity. With blade and ripper attachments, the D6 was ready for anything you could throw at it. Here's a piece of history for you. The D6 played a crucial role in World War II, helping to build airfields, clear roads, and support military operations. Early models even featured a unique pony motor starting system, in which a smaller engine is started to get the main engine going. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give us a like and hit subscribe for more, and stick around because we're going seriously back in time real soon. But for now, let's jump to 1955 and meet the Euclid TC12 Dozer. This behemoth was built for the big leagues. We're talking heavy-duty mining and massive earth-moving projects. The TC12 was a giant among giants, measuring approximately 30 feet long, 12 feet wide, and 14 feet tall. But here's the kicker. It boasted not one, but two engines, totaling over 500 horsepower. If you wanted one of these dual-engine monsters in the 1960s, you'd need to shell out between $250,000 and $300,000. That's some serious cash, even by today's standards. The TC12 had a party trick up its sleeve too. It could be disassembled into two parts for easier transportation. But don't expect to see these everywhere. Only 91 units were ever produced during its 19-year run from 1955 to 1974. If you spot one of these rarities still chugging along today, consider yourself lucky. Now let's scale things down a bit and travel back to 1951. Oliver introduces the OC3 Crawler Tractor, proving that sometimes good things come in small packages. This compact powerhouse measured just 8.3 feet long, 4.36 feet wide, and 4.19 feet tall. It might have been small, but with 29 horsepower, it was mighty enough for various farm tasks and light construction work. In the 1950s, you could add one of these versatile machines to your fleet for a modest $3,000 to $4,000. That's quite a bargain for a tractor that could handle everything from plowing fields to navigating tight spaces in orchards. The OC3's compact size made it a favorite among fruit growers, and it could easily maneuver between trees without causing damage. Here's a cool feature. The OC3 boasted a unique controlled differential steering system, giving it impressive maneuverability for its time. And let's not forget its heart, a Hercules engine known for its reliability. These little tractors were built to last, with many serving faithfully for 20 to 30 years after production ended in 1957. Alright, let's shift gears and head to 1966. Caterpillar unveils the 977K track loader, a machine that would help shape the world we live in today. This international icon was manufactured in the USA, Japan, and Scotland, truly making it a global citizen. Measuring approximately 22 feet long, 9 feet wide, and 10 feet tall, the 977K was a force to be reckoned with in construction and mining. Packing 170 horsepower and featuring a large bucket capacity, this all-terrain beast could handle whatever you threw at it, and people certainly did. Over 22,000 units were produced in just a 5-year span. In the late 1960s, one of these workhorses would set you back $50,000 to $70,000, but considering its capabilities, many considered it a worthy investment. The 977K even featured a walk-through operator's compartment for easy access. They designed it with comfort in mind, even in the toughest working conditions. And get this, the 977K played a role in constructing many major infrastructure projects worldwide. So next time you drive on a highway or see an impressive building, remember, a 977K might have helped make it possible. Now, let's take a big leap back in time to 1920. Caterpillar introduces the 66-pole grader, a machine that would help pave the way for modern road construction. This 30-foot-long behemoth, including the tractor, featured a massive 12-foot-wide blade. But here's the catch, it needed a separate tractor to pull it along. In the 1920s, you could own this road-building marvel for just $2,000 to $3,000. That might not sound like much, but remember, this was a time when you could buy a house for about $6,000. The Caterpillar 66 actually required not one, but two operators, one to drive the tractor and another to control the grader. This machine played a crucial role in early road development across rural America. Without it, who knows how long it would have taken to connect the growing nation with reliable roads. The Caterpillar 66 was the predecessor to modern self-propelled motor graders. Let's keep our time machine set to the past and visit 1918. The Cleveland Tractor Company, also known as Cletrac, introduces the model W220, a machine that would help revolutionize agriculture. This compact crawler tractor measured about 10 feet long, 5 feet wide, and 6 feet tall. But don't let its size fool you though. The W220 was a jack of all trades when it came to farm work. In 1918, you could bring this versatile machine home for just $1,385. That might sound like a bargain, but the average annual income back then was only about $1,500. What made the W220 special was its crawler tracks for low ground pressure, making it ideal for working in soft or muddy conditions without getting stuck. This was a game changer for farmers dealing with challenging terrains. The W220 even boasted an innovative 3-point crawler system, improving its stability and traction. So it had 3 legs instead of 2, giving it a steady stance in uneven fields. It also helped establish Cleveland Tractor Company as a major player in the industry. It was one of the first successful crawler tractors designed specifically for agriculture, paving the way for the advanced farm equipment that we see today. Now buckle up your DeLorean seatbelt because we're about to visit the grandfather of all gasoline-powered tractors. Let's travel all the way back to 1892 when John Frick unveiled his prototype tractor. This pioneering machine measured approximately 12 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 7 feet tall. While we don't have a price for it, being a prototype and all, its value to the evolution of farm machinery is priceless. Here's what makes the Frick tractor so special. It's considered the first successful gasoline-powered tractor. That's right, this is the machine that kicked off a revolution in farming that continues to this day. The Frick tractor featured a 1-cylinder engine mounted on steam engine running gear. It could even move both forward and backward, revolutionary for its time. Want to hear something impressive? During its initial test, this prototype threshed around 72,000 bushels of grain. Now that's a productive debut. While the Frick tractor itself didn't see mass production, its influence on tractor development lasted for decades. Let's jump ahead to 1962 and meet a true earth-moving titan, the International Harvester 295 Pay Scraper. This monster measured about 40 feet long, 11 feet wide, and 13 feet tall. But its size wasn't its only impressive feature. The 295 packed a whopping 375 horsepower and could haul between 24 to 34 cubic yards of material. That's like moving a small house with each load. In the 1960s, one of these earth-eating machines would cost you between $100,000 to $150,000. A hefty price tag, but considering what it could do, it was worth it. Here's a cool feature. The 295 had a unique fixed kingpin design connecting the tractor and scraper sections. This gave it improved stability and control, even when fully loaded and navigating tough terrain. The 295 underwent several redesigns during its production run from 1962 to 1974, but the real star of the show was its innovative DT817T engine. This powerhouse could propel the fully loaded scraper at speeds up to 26 miles per hour. That might not sound fast, but for a machine of this size and weight, it was like a cheetah among elephants. And now for our number one spot, let's go back to where it all began for one of the biggest names in heavy machinery. We're talking about the Caterpillar 2-ton tractor, originally introduced as the Holt HT T35 in 1921. This compact workhorse measured about 9 feet long, 4.5 feet wide, and 5 feet tall. Don't let its size fool you though. With 20 to 25 horsepower, it was more than capable of handling various agricultural and light construction tasks. In the 1920s, you could own one of these pioneering machines for $2,000 to $2,500. This was a time when the average car cost about $300, so it wasn't cheap. Here's what makes the 2-ton tractor special. It was one of the original models when Caterpillar was established in 1925. It's like the great-grandparent of every yellow cat machine you see on construction sites today. The 2-ton featured an overhead camshaft engine, which was pretty advanced for its time. It was like having a sports car engine in a tractor. This was also the last tractor to have track shoes integrally cast with the rails. The 2-ton tractor's compact size made it perfect for work in orchards and vineyards. It could easily maneuver between rows of trees or vines without causing damage. While its production as a Caterpillar model lasted only 7 years, many of these tractors continued to serve faithfully for 15 to 20 years after. That's the kind of longevity and reliability that built Caterpillar's reputation. And there you have it. We're back to the future, or present. These machines have shaped our world in more ways than we can count. It's incredible to think that some of these mechanical marvels are still out there, pushing, pulling, digging, and grading, decades after they first rolled off the assembly line. They're not just machines, they're living pieces of history. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and share this video and let us know what you thought was the coolest. Please subscribe for more Monster Machine content, and if you want more right now, then just click one of these, and we'll see you in the next one.